Since all the YouTube expert wizards online say that the best way to increase audience retention is through storytelling, and my audience retention is horrendous, we're going to take a page out of a little known guy's book named William Shakespeare, and we're going to get jazzy with a little bit of a limerick. There once was a lifter named Patrick. Not once did he stick his dick in a fat chick. Well, there's this one time, but like when you're desperate enough to go on Tinder, you take what you can get. I know you're probably here for things that I'm good at, like powerlifting, and not the other things like writing limericks or talking to women. So let's get into the thick of it. We are 7 weeks out from the American Pro, where we're going to wash house, kind of like back in Pokemon Stadium whenever you would use surf. This week, we started off with a bench press. Bench day, the best day. Coach has a habit of doing this thing where he's like, what is the most annoying thing I can put on the bar? What is the hardest thing to put on the bar? He'll pretty much math out what is a 25, 10, 5, and a 2. And you the entire time you're screaming to yourself, I just want to put that 45 on the bar. Let me just take all the change off. Let me just put the 45 on the bar. Or he'll do whatever he did this week, and he had 495. That is the dumbest thing to put on a everyone they want to bench 135, 225, 315, 405. At that point, you stop doing the plate jumps, and then it starts to get to the 100 jumps. You want 500, 600, 700, 800. My coach made me put 495 on the bar. But he did something, he programmed the main movement in a way that I really enjoy doing, because my biggest weakness on bench is the speed in which I descend. And it doesn't replicate it when I do reps. What happens is I bring the bar down really slow and controlled, but when I do a second rep, it doesn't replicate in the second rep. So I'm able to descend faster on the second rep. It's a first rep kind of fallacy going on in my bench press. So what coach programmed was a 3x1-in-1 cluster set where I do a single at 495, I stand up for 10 seconds, and then I reset up and do another rep. That's a cluster double. So those felt really stupid easy. Those felt really good. Like before this training block, 500, 495 were kind of like we're grinding gears a little bit. But now the way that the program is progressing, the way that peak is fizzling into fruition, the 495 is feeling like 135. 545 from last week is feeling like 135. So we're going to have to end up loading 100 more pounds onto the bar before I can even start to feel anything. Kind of like my love life where I don't feel anything at all because I am dead inside. But my wife is a lovely lady. Moving on to squats. Squats this week were fun. We're finally getting to the exciting part of training where we're doing things where some people will be like, I can't comprehend what you're doing. And that's what's exciting. When you load up a bar and you're the only one in the room that is not nervous that the bar is loaded to the extent that it's loaded to, that's when things get exciting. That's when people start shitting their pants in the corner. That's when it gets like, oh, we're gearing up for something real spicy. We worked up to 845. Coach programmed either 825 to 845, and I was like, boy, why did you put 825 on you? Do not doubt me. Do not doubt me. It is 845 or bust. So I had no spot. Well, I had a spotter, and after I was done with the squat, he was like, I don't know what I was gonna. Why was I even there? Like, if you failed that, like, what could I have done? I'm like, nah. You're not a spotter, you're a witness. Witness my glory. But the squat felt like an empty bar. It felt really good. But squats went really good. We went from 845 and then we did some tempo squats at 705, 2x2. Felt really light. It's getting really exciting. The only thing I was nervous about on the squat was whether or not the clips would hold on. If that's your only worry, boy, you're in a good spot. You're in a good training spot. And then deadlifts this week was the third week in a row that we did a kind of light. It's not cluster deadlifts. We're still doing 500, but the way that we've been progressing our deadlift previously, we almost intra-peaked our deadlift during training blocks. Now we are, since we have this, we've built the strength to perform an 800-pound deadlift early. We progressed a little earlier than it should have been. We are now reducing the fatigue. We're pushing the CNS up with the squats and the bench so that we don't feel like our face is going to pop the moment the bar comes off the floor, the moment we get the bar on our back, the moment we unrack the bar into our hands. So we've got the power there. We're just manipulating the fatigue there, and we're building up the CNS through the other two lifts. So it was 505, 10 by 1, really easy. And honestly, it felt, the bar felt like 135. Like I've on all three of these lifts, I said the bar felt like 135. That means we are cooking with hot oil. We are in a good spot, good position to go into the meet and absolutely decimate everyone else on the playing field. So it was a really good training week. We didn't go super heavy. It was like, what's 495 plus 505? So that's 1,000 plus 840. It was only an 845 training total this week, but it really only felt like 4 or 5. And the CNS, I had a little bit of the CNS hangover after squat day. Why was that plural? Going into deadlifts, but I was still able to perform deadlifts at a high level, at a good, consistent rate, at a good, powerful circumstance, situation. Other words that basically mean I did good, kid. But we are 7 weeks out. Stay tuned. I don't know what the program's calling for next week, so be just as surprised as I will be waking up tomorrow morning when I bust out a pretty decent training total. And I got a question for you guys. Which of the big three, which day, squat day, bench day, deadlift day, which is your favorite? Write it in the comments below, and I'll get back to you on the next one. Have a good one. Patty out.